Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. Welcome to the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and you're at the Lucid Mind Center. So I'm a Qigong instructor. I've been teaching Qigong for about 3 years now. And I have been a Course in Miracles student since 2008. And I have figured out for myself that the Qigong really helped me internalize A Course in Miracles, the lessons or the teaching of A Course in Miracles, and it also really helped me understand the role of the body and the role of the world and what is this thing called illusion. I mean, how does this relate to that? And I had some very big insights during my Qigong training and during other trainings which I have done as well, which part of it is becoming a facilitator for the Monroe Institute with a lot of out-of-body experiences and things like that. And the reason why I have combined Qigong and A Course in Miracles is because this is my little grain of sand of helping you make sense of some of those difficult A Course in Miracles lessons. First, we're going to line up. We're going to align ourselves with our holy self, with our divineness, with God. And then we're going to read and contemplate this lesson together. And then after that, I'm going to guide you to one of the Qigong classes, which I recommend to you to apply this lesson to. At the end, if you liked it, subscribe to my channel so more Course in Miracles students can find me, and let me know where you're watching from and how long you have been with A Course in Miracles. So to line up, you can stay like this, or if this is not so comfortable for you, then you can come to the edge of your sofa. I quite like to come to the edge because then I have got the 2 points, the legs grounding, and I have got the sitting bones grounding. And so you can imagine that you're growing like a deep root into the earth. So if you have got difficulties imagining things, remember that you are much more powerful than we were made to believe before we started the Course in Miracles. So just say to yourself, I'm growing roots from my feet into the earth, and I'm growing roots from my sitting bone and from my perineum into the earth. And then also remember that about roots. Roots are not growing only one direction. They're growing towards the center of the earth, but they're also spreading out sideways. So just imagine that you are growing sideways. And then also imagine that your coccyx bone, your tailbone, is starting to grow, extend. An imaginary tail, a dragon's tail, which is also growing into the earth. And then just start shaking that tail, wagging it, just allowing yourself to become aware that this body actually belongs to earth. Very good. Shake it and let it go. Let go of any kind of obstructions to the presence of who you truly are. Inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth and wag the tail. That's it. And let's do it one more time. Inhale through the nose and then exhale. Imagine that you are sinking your awareness into the space which your body is occupying, and exhale. And this time inhale through the nose and imagine that you're exhaling through the roots which are coming out from your perineum, and further down through the roots which you are growing into the earth. You really want to ground yourself. You want to root yourself. And it says in the Tao Te Ching, it says, it's easy to nourish something which is rooted. So you want to root yourself so you can grow high up and understand where you are actually coming from and what this Holy Spirit, this Holy Self and this divinity actually is and where it is within you. Very good. Let's just do 3 more. Now we are going to actually connect to this divine force, divine energy. And now inhale and now exhale it down through that central channel. If you don't know what the central channel is, I suggest you watch the 2 videos which I made, which are called How Qigong Can Help you as a Course in Miracles student. Inhale and exhale. You can find the links to these 2 videos below in the description. And one more time, so just imagine that you have got like a channel of light which is coming through the crown of your head all the way through the body, in front of your spine, basically between your belly and your spine. It's coming through like a pillar of light, coming out of your perineum and anchoring itself in the earth. This is like a connection between heaven and earth. And yesterday in our lesson, in lesson 184, we have heard that heaven and earth are far greater than what we possibly can understand, and that we did not make either of them. They are part of creation. So we inhale and now connect to this heavenly source. Imagine that you're connecting to your holy self. You can just even say to yourself, I'm connecting to Holy Spirit, and now exhale this awareness down. And the reason I like to call it the pillar of light is because that central channel can be as thin as a thread of silk. It can be even interrupted, but once you become aware and you cultivate it and you can open it up, it can be so big, it can become so wide that your whole body fits into this pillar of light. This is just a visualization, but it's also a game or a playful way to understand the power of your mind, the power of your lucid mind. Very good. And let's do one last one. Let's just connect. We're gonna bring up the confidence, the mother nurturing force of the Mother Earth. We're gonna bring it up. Connect to the heavenly source, to the light, and now bring it down into the awareness. Do it very slowly while you're exhaling. Very good. And now we are ready to read our lesson 185 and contemplate it together and see what comes to our mind, what comes to my mind, what comes to your mind. And if you feel inclined to tell me something, please leave it in the comments. This communication works wonderfully. Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. Now this is a very important sentence in itself, because this is establishing what you are choosing to do. You are establishing your will. I want the peace of God. This is what I want. And then the Course says, to say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place of time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely installed, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. I love this paragraph. To say these words like a mantra, like many people do. They do it in the church. They are saying the Padre Nostrum, I don't even know what it's called in English, or the Ave Maria. They are just rattling it down without knowing what they are saying. It means it's not helpful. I know people are saying mantras in foreign languages where they don't even know what they're saying. And some teachers even teaching others to say mantras and just say, oh, but this is just the sound, the vibration of the voice which is making it happen. Yes, there is maybe a certain vibrational benefit. There is a certain benefit to the brain from the vibrations of saying it out loud. But this is not what we're doing here. We are retraining the mind. And to retrain the mind, you need to understand that the meaning is the powerful thing. It's the desire you are putting in behind. And we have even got in many religions, putting desire equal to sin, when desire is the driving force behind enlightenment, I would say. If you desire, if you say, I want the peace of God, or you say, I wonder what it would feel like to have the peace of God, this is the most powerful way to express your desire. That I need to know. I want the peace of God because I want to experience what it feels like to have the peace of God, even if it is for an instant. It is something if it is something you are desiring, it is something you are deciding. It is the intent you are sending out into the universe. And the reason why I like Qigong so much, it's because, and it's totally different to many other energy work or energy practices, because Qigong is about energy work, and we are working with the energy through intent. Every movement, this is how martial arts are built up. It is based on intent. It is, what am I doing with that movement? What is the end desire? What is the effect, what I am trying to create? So what we are trying to create with this idea today is, I want the peace of God. I am desiring to experience what it feels like to have the peace of God within me. To experiencing it within me or without me. So, I mean, within and outside of me. I want to be immersed in it. So when you're going into meditation, this is the kind of stuff you have to ponder on. Not just simply say, I want the peace of God, and then go and think about your shopping list. This is not going to do it. What you want to do is, you want to really wonder. I wonder what it would feel like to know the peace of God. The same as when you are dreaming about, for example, going to the beach somewhere or going to a new place somewhere. You're wondering, I wonder how it is in Paris. So by wondering how it is in Paris, eventually you're going to make yourself do whatever it takes to arrive in Paris one day. So this is the same here. You just have to wonder with the whole of your being. I wonder what it would be like to have the peace of God, because this is what I want. And you gotta mean it. No one can mean these words and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think he is himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. And also that is because he wills it. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. And that is the key. It is so incredibly important. I mean, that's why I love the Course in Miracles. You gotta mean it. And this is one of those things which for some reason I have always known, is that wishes come true. I used to call them wishes, but it's not just simply the wish. It's not about, oh, I wish this is going to come true. It's the intent you're putting along with it. It's the surge of energy with your mind, that intent you're putting along with the words, where you're deciding it. And also I always say claiming it. So you're putting it out, you're saying, this is what I want, and I'm claiming it. I'm actually creating a tunnel where this can come back to me. So you go, this is what I want, and this is how I'm receiving it. I'm opening the channel. I'm ready to receive. I want the peace of God. So it says here, many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have to but look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are who have said that they mean it. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. So this is what you and me can decide right now. we can decide, you and me, want the peace of God. Because I do. This is what I want. I want the peace of God. Is that what you want? We've got the bridge. We're gonna get it. Two minds with one intent become so strong that they will become the will of God. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. To each, the hero of the dream is different. The outcome wanted, not the same for both. Loser and gainer merrily shift about in changing patterns as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on a different aspect of another form. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. Compromise alone, a dream can only bring compromise. But because you haven't set your mind on it. When two people set their mind on it, or 10 people set their mind on something, then they achieve a lot of things. And I have said this to you at the very, very beginning of the course. I said to you, when somebody decides, has an idea, I want to build a house, then he has got to share this idea with somebody else, maybe with an architect. And then the architect draws the idea, and then suddenly it's visible what this person, the very first person, had in mind. And then there come the builders and the electricians and all kind of other people come together and create that idea which the first person had in their mind. And eventually that building is standing there. But this is a building, this is the manifestations in the world. But what we are trying to manifest here is the peace on earth, the light on earth, where we actually physically don't need to do that much. We just need to allow ourselves to desire the same thing together. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. Sometimes it takes the form of union, but only the form. The meaning must escape the dream, for compromising is the goal of dreaming. Minds cannot unite in dreams. Minds cannot unite in dreams. They merrily bargain in that dream, in this world here. What we are doing, we are bargaining. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? Illusions come to take his place, and what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. So this is the minds, their intent on compromise. So this is what I just said with you. Let's take again the building of a house. That is a compromise. Okay, so you draw me the plans, you go to the architect, you draw me the plans, and I will pay you the money for your time. And the same goes with the building. And eventually it's standing there, but it's a compromise. We are doing this because we're making agreements with each other. Maybe the architect was paid too much or too little for his work. Maybe the builders, they didn't actually get as much as they were supposed to get for the amount of work they have done. So it's an agreement. We are agreeing with each other. We are exchanging. You give me time, I give you my money. So this is a compromise. This is what the course is meaning here. But when you are sharing an idea of God, when you and me, we decide we want the peace of God, you and me together, then we are deciding to bring the light in. And it's not because you are gaining from it. It's not because you and me are just gaining from it. Because when we are deciding that, everybody is gaining from it. You see the difference? When I'm building the house, I'm gaining from it. And I'm making compromises. But when we are deciding for the peace of the world, every single one of us is gaining. This is the difference. The key is who is winning. Is it 5 people winning or is it everybody winning? It's gotta be a win-win-win-win situation. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. For no one means these words who wants illusion, and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the other dreams we have had so far. Dreams are one to him, and he has learned their only difference is one of form, for one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. Because once you get the house you wanted, and that house is empty and there's nobody in it, you're gonna say, well, that's not filling me up, I need another house. Or I need to go traveling because I need to meet some people. And then maybe you go traveling and you don't meet the right people, and that doesn't fill you in either. It's because this is just different forms. This is not the reality. The reality is to wish and use your body in the greater good for all humanity. That is really, sounds like a lofty goal, but you don't even have to do anything big. You just have to desire it. You said, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Which is going to improve the situation for everybody. Well, maybe the only thing what you need to do is to wish, I want the peace of God. The mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds. This is the only way. And how do you join with other minds? Is by seeing them, by blessing them with the true vision, seeing that they're not a body, they are the light, and you are looking beyond the body. But the only way to do that is when you are sinking within and when you have understood that you also not a body. Sinking within. Why within? Is because everything you're perceiving around yourself is part of that field of perception, which you're perceiving with your five senses. Remembering that the skin is the biggest sense organ you have. The touch. You are constantly feeling the air. You are constantly noticing where your body is. This is what the skin is doing for you. And then you have got the nose, you're smelling. You've got the ears, you're hearing. You've got the eyes, you're seeing. You've got the tongue and tasting. These are our five senses. We don't have any more. What we got to work on is our sixth sense, where you go within. You shut all the five senses off and you turn within. The mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind which seeks for it in honesty can understand. Again, and when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form to each mind which seeks for it in honesty so it can understand it. So when you are seeking for peace and you're saying, that is what I really actually want. I want peace. I want joy. I want happiness. I want the peace of God. I want the peace of mind. I actually want the peace of love. And then the doors will be opened up to you. And you gotta be determined that this is what you want. And not forget that this is what you want. So that's why I always say to you, I've been saying it for 180 times, write the determination down. Write this phrase down. I want the peace of God. So your body remembers for you. Body is neutral. It's got no opinion. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind which seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. And if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet his acceptance and be truly learned. This is such an important phrases. I'm going to repeat them. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him. Is planned for you. So if you sincerely want to know it, there will come a lesson for you. And you will not mistake it that this lesson was for you to ask. What was the answer to your asking? But if you're asking without sincerity, if you're just saying it as a floskel, I want the peace of God, and you actually don't mean it, you don't contemplate what that actually means for you. You don't contemplate, you don't desire it, you don't Wonder what it would feel like. Because I'm telling you, of all the expressions, of all the most powerful way to wish is to wonder. How would it feel? I wonder how it would feel to have the peace of God. This is the most powerful way to express the wish, the determination. I've been thinking about writing a book about it and I still haven't started. And I feel it's so important to transmit this particular one message. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for you in such a way that you cannot mistake it if your asking is sincere. And if you ask without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet acceptance and be truly learned by you. So therefore, let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. And it is a very, very important lesson altogether. You gotta mean what you say, otherwise don't even say it. We want the peace of God. You and me, we want the peace of God. Even if we are not saying this now at the same time, it doesn't matter. This is going to bridge over. Even if you watch this video 5 years down the line, this bridge is there, ready for us to do this together. Let us today devote our practicing to recognize that we really mean the words we say. We, you and me, and all the other people who are this determined, we want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise, nor try to make another bargain in the hope that there may yet be one which can succeed where all the rest have failed. It's like you're not bargaining, oh, I hope this is going to wake it. No, you're deciding, this is what I'm going to do. It's like when you're deciding that you're going to go for that swim now. You're not hoping that somebody's going to pick you up from the sofa and bring you over there to the beach. No, you pack your stuff and you go to the beach. And once you arrive there, you're going to have this experience of sinking into the ocean. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams which seem to change in what they offer but are one in nothingness. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind and to find the dream you cherish still. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you use in making your request. Forget the words you use. You gotta forget the words. You gotta get the feeling in. And that's why I'm saying put the feeling of wonder in. I wonder how it would feel. And it's not, you don't even need to say it. I'm talking about the feeling. I wonder, and don't even say I wonder. Just express that desire with that question. I wonder what it would feel. Even if you just practice this today, how do I wonder how it would feel? How is that feeling? Just figure that feeling out first. And then add to it, I wonder what it would feel like to have the peace of God from within your heart. And the practice periods, let me just remind you, because I don't know if it's going to say it here, but it said it last time in lesson 153. This is 32 days ago. The practice period, you're supposed to do it every hour for 5 minutes. Every hour for 5 minutes during your waking hours. And you're supposed to do in the first thing in the morning and last thing at night. The course says 5 minutes, that should be the absolute minimum. But if you could devote 10 or 15 minutes, it would be better. But there's going to come a time where even 30 minutes are not going to be enough for you to sink back into the truth of yourself. So remember that you are asked to spend as much time as you can in the awareness of who you truly are. What you're doing is you're returning back to yourself. You're sinking back into the depth of joy, of happiness, of the truth of who you are. Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. Here you go. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. This is what I'm calling wonder. I wonder what it would feel like. This is another way of expressing it. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. The form is not what matters. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one. I just want to tell you one more thing here. When you are wondering, I wonder what it feels to experience the peace of God. It does not mean that you then should imagine, oh, if I've got the peace of God, I'm going to feel that way or that way. No. You are just allowing the question to linger there, and you are just allowing the answer to come back to you whenever you're ready. Do not come and suddenly start imagining, oh, when I have the peace of God, I'm going to be sitting peacefully at the beach. No. Just ask the question, I wonder what it would feel like to have the peace of God, and then just allow it to stand there. Do not go any further, oh, it's going to be that, and no, because then you are already building sandcastles. No, just ask it. I want the peace of God. I wonder how it would feel like, and let it stand there like that. But therefore it says here, consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. It's not about form. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for other. They're all one. All the illusions are one. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? So that's what you're going to ask yourself, because if you do start giving all kinds of scenarios, which you think, if I have the peace of God, it's going to be that, and then ask yourself, is this what I actually would like to have instead of heaven and the peace of God? This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace, or you have asked for dreams. And dreams will come as you request them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly and to remain with you forever. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road, to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. For them as well as for yourself, you ask but this when you make this request with deep sincerity. For thus you reach to what they really want and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. Do you understand that? For them as well as for yourself, you ask but this when you make this request with deep sincerity. You are asking for the peace for all of us. And it says here, even if the other ones don't know that this is what they are looking for, deep inside is what they're looking for, because we are all one. We all are the Christ. We are all the child who comes here to bring the peace to earth, bring light to earth. Remember that is what we want. Without delusions, without pretense, without... There are so many who are pretending, especially the ones which call themselves spiritual. They are also pretending. Without pretense, with reality, with honesty, with sincerity, understanding and overlooking when others haven't reached this understanding yet. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. For them as well as for yourself, you ask, but this when you make this request with deep sincerity, with deep wonder, with deep heartfelt desire. For thus you reach to what they really want and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. And join your own intent. Intent is the key word. The key word is such an incredibly important word. Now we still have got the word intent to us before they have marketed it all. Just understand the word, how important that surge of power is. That surge of power within you when you are setting the intent. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your purpose, and unsure of what you wanted, where to look for it, and where to turn for help in the attempt. Help has been given you, and would you not avail yourself of it by sharing it? No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it. No one. Because in the end, we're all going to find it. For he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? Let me repeat, listen. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? You're basically asking for the peace of God which you have already. And the reason why we don't see it is absolutely crazy. This is how mad we are. Is because we are looking in the wrong place. We have placed it somewhere out in this field of perception and haven't understood that it's within. We gotta go within so we can catapult ourselves beyond beyond this field of perception. That field of perception is within this bowl of darkness which we have created. Maybe there is some holes in it, so there comes up a bit of light in. But it's that bowl of darkness, this bowl, like a football or a beach ball of darkness, where we're looking inwards and we don't realize that the light is all around us, and that there is a pillar of light going right through us, where we can allow our awareness to sink in, because it's only what's missing, it's our awareness that the peace is already with us. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? Do you get that? Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? Because the peace of God is yours. You are giving yourself the answer. Desire it and you will get it. For you it was created, given you by its creator, and established as his own eternal gift to himself. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? That light within you is asking you to see, waiting for you to see the light within you. So to see that light within you, you gotta desire it. You gotta desire the peace of God. You gotta desire it. You gotta say, I wonder what it would feel like, and then just allow the answer to come. Do not answer it. Do not answer it with ego answers. Oh, the peace of God is going to feel like that. No. Just ask it. I wonder what it would feel like. And just allow the question to linger there and allow the answer to come back on that wave. Try that. For you it was created, given you by its creator, and established as his own eternal gift. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? And how could your request be limited to you alone? Do you get this? How could your request be limited to you alone? No gift of God can be unshared. It is this attribute that sets the gifts of God apart from every dream that ever seemed to take the place of truth. No one can lose, and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. To take away is meaningless to him. And when it is as meaningless to you, you can be sure you share one will with him and he with you. I've got to read this again. No one can lose and everybody must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. The only way he gives is to unite. To take away is meaningless to God. It's meaningless to love. It's meaningless to light. And when it becomes meaningless to you as well, to take things away from people or to take away, you can be sure you share one will with him and he with you. And you will also know you share one will with all your brothers whose intent is yours. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? It is to look beyond the light, beyond the body. It is about looking beyond the body. It's about seeing the light within you and seeing the light within others. I want the peace of God today. This is your intent. And no more words are necessary for this today. For this particular class, I will recommend this Qigong class, or you can choose here from the Qigong classes for Course in Miracles students, which I have made here. Or here you can come to my English Qigong channel, which is for everybody. Maybe there is something suitable for you here. Love, light, blessings and Qi.